pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'ma replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Blow your mind.
Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't geese, too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you fuck like a limbo. She said she not a, she an A. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't geek, too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like,
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as they're the holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go now. 6 yards. Check.
They'll run on first down. Taylor. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Brissett. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, it's Brissett. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
I'm coming after you. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Mike, 55. What's that? 55. Hey, tight. 64. Weak.
Brissett on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Play fake, Brissett. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Brissett again. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
58, come on. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. And 58 is a mic. Go 58 is a mic.
To throw is Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Henry. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, Houston.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Well, now they'll try the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson, he finds Hopkins complete. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 47 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up even more big plays.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Johnson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. Going up top. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, it's Moss, and he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey, watch the slant.
Here's Brissett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Brissett now. Got a man. It's Brown. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, Brissett. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Henry out of the pistol. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. On 1st down, Watson. He's got Fuller. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And caught by Henry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 15-yard line. A first down carry here for Johnson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making a play there.
Set. We want this. I thought he was.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Brissett now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett. It's caught by Funchess. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. First down, Brissett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Go. A gain of 21 yards. First down, Texans.
Put his boy down, he's coming.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
On first down, it's Watson. It's complete to Fuller.
Watson's pass. Complete to Will Fuller.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
37-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On it's the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Come get some. Come down, coming. He don't want it.
The final shot before the break. Watson, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll only get a yard, maybe two, up to the 46. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Justin Houston, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to go down again.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Here's Brian Anger now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taylor now returning it. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Down. Moss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Taylor.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Brissett. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor. And an alley to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one 28 yards on the ground. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Texans here on 3rd down putting an extra defender in the secondary. They run with Taylor, and he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They give to Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Watson now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Danico Autry able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
We got 4. We got 4.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Now they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, 76 yards. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Brissett. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. from the gun. Here's Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he connects with Ebron. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll run on 1st down. Taylor. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From just shy of midfield, Brissett. Campbell making the catch. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Taylor. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, Brissett. Going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Brissett on 4th down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Todd Bowles tried it, went for it, but it didn't pay off. And this Texans defense stands tall. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks them up.
And avoids the turnover. On first down, it's Moss. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On third down, Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, Johnson running this with a wide receiver, Fuller. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And McManus able to put it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Brissett on first down. And the catch made by Hilton. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He gives it up. A little juke. give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Hey, you gotta snap it. You gotta snap it.
He's mine, he's mine, he's mine.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Houston, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.